Hi, Mart here, and welcome to the first critique video. I know it took me ages to make this video. This is the critique video for the giveaway for 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm so sorry that it took me so long, but I didn't really know how to approach it that well, and I still don't think I'm qualified to make this kind of video anyway. And as you can see, I don't have my face cam right now because I'm not really good at talking and painting at the same time, and also, I wouldn't probably look at the camera anyway and didn't talk to you anyway, so there won't be any camera in this type of videos. Okay, so let's move to the actual video. Okay, so we got two images here. The first one is rendered in some 3D software. What I think, yeah, you're right, that this one is rendered in 3D software and that you wanted to put something something personal in it by painting it in the second picture. And let's talk first about the render. Well, I'm not really good with composition at all. I know some basics, but I'm not really pro at composition. So the first thing I would do is to remove this little, I don't know, was it stone crystal, I think, and move it somewhere else, because it kind of, drags the attention from the actual characters in the piece, like these two guys. And well, I would probably move it somewhere here, or next to the rock. It would be nice to have some crystals right here or something. And yeah, just don't do this, because if you put something in the middle of the page that's not supposed to be focus point, it will probably kind of destroy your storytelling when it comes to composition, I would say. So don't put the, some unwanted focus points at a place that people will look at the first time, at the first look. Don't put the unwanted focus point in the middle of the screen. Yeah, because you have these here, and these are okay because they are small. They are not that visible. But if you put the crystal that size of your main characters over here, that will kind of break it. So I wouldn't do it. That's the first thing. Also, I'm guessing that you add this later in Photoshop, since there's no actual light from it, and yeah, I'd say that you add it later, but that's okay. I think it's quite nice to have two characters. It's a mirrored this way, but in that case, I would probably kind of change the composition, because what you got here is something dynamic looking, you have some motion here, and this is kind of not that motion, but he's looking at him. But with this flat ground, it doesn't work that well. So I would probably add something more to it, some kind of, I don't know, it could be, for example, something like that, and the stone up here. It's too high. Anyway, some kind of diagonal here, to emphasize this kind of motion. And there would be a smaller thing, or it can be like this as well, because this flat ground is kind of boring when it comes to this motion. Okay, it doesn't go too well together with, with the motion you have got here. Also, when we are at this, I would say, when we are at the ground and, the actual background of this piece, I would probably not put this stone there. I know that, the fox is pretty much, I think it's either on it or behind it. I'm not sure right now. But if it's on it, I would maybe change the environment a bit, because now it looks like you have just one stone here in the middle of nothing. and that doesn't look right to me, I think. Like, I would maybe do the stone bigger. I will show you in the painting later. I will do like overpaint on this, and I will probably like either make like more rocky and do some cut here, for example. I could do like this. And I know add more stones. Like this, or maybe some stones in the background as well. Something like that. Or maybe build the whole idea of this with just one stone, like rock, you know, like some rocky shape mountain that he's like standing on. You know, it's like, I don't know, I'm not really good with this kind of shading, so like he's standing on some kind of rock that is bigger, and these crystals can be in the rock. I will show you later in some overpaint I'm gonna do. So these are just quick things that kind of bothers me at this point. But overall, I really like the style of it, you know, I really like this, I don't know how it's called, I think cell shaded style. I really like that, and the colors are really nice as well. Another thing I would like to talk about is maybe this part with the crystals. It looks like you are just splitting the image in like few segments. It's like, yeah, rocks here, done. Crystals here, done. Character here, done. It doesn't look like it's one thing. It looks like you've put more things in one scene and hope for the best. So I would kind of like this part here with the stone. That's good because it works together. You know, he's interacting with the stone. But you know how she like splitted this and there are no more rocks here? Like nothing? That looks weird to me. Yeah. But overall, I think it looks nice. Like the colors and everything. It looks like a nice poster. I really like the, how's it called? Aspect ratio of the image, which is good. So yeah, these are a few changes I would do here. And maybe at the end, something about actual composition, which is like the most simplest thing. Think about composition as a 3 layers, okay? So you got a layer with your character, which is like here. Okay? Like think about it, like if you look at it from profile, like look from the side view, like you get layer with your character. Okay. There's background. That's too close. Let's move it somewhere else. Okay, so let's say that you have like, this is the image in the layers. So you have your character here. I don't know, it's probably not the best representation, but yeah, you got some character here. Okay, that's the character layer. Then in front of it, there should be like a foreground layer, which you're kind of doing here with these stones, which is okay, like with these crystals, which is, I think, really nice and okay. So we got like this crystal here. I know I'm not really good with shapes, but okay, we got some crystals here in the foreground layer. I just write like FG. And then every composition should have like background layer as well, which we kind of missing here. See, there's like nothing in the background. Like, yeah, we got something going on here. Wait a second. And this part got something going on, like a little bit, but I don't think it's enough. So we kind of need some kind of background here. So I would probably use something that's really similar to background color. I don't know, something from this light here, and you know, add some, I don't know, shapes or whatever, like, you know, some hills or something in a background to make it more appealing, you know, to not missing this background layer. Okay, so this is like the whole composition. That's like composition 101. So if you're gonna like stick to this kind of thing, you know, foreground, character, background, or, you know, doesn't have to be character, it's just your focus point is here. This is like the main subject of the composition, of the painting, or, you know, the 3D render. If you're gonna stick to this little scheme here, it will look better. Like, it will get some kind of structure, and I think this is just basics of composition. Okay, another one. Yeah, you got a focus points. Looks like you got sticked with these. I know it's called like a rule of thirds. You know, if you do like this, like split it into these, so your focus points should be here, right? So you got it like this. This is approximately at that point, but yeah, it looks kind of good. Yeah, I was on the wrong layer. Anyway, it looks good. Yeah, I wouldn't like change it that much, but yeah, just these few things I was talking about could kind of add to this piece a little bit more likeness, I would say. Okay, now let's move it to the painted version, which I'm not sure why did you like go from the cell shading to these texture brushes. I don't really like it personally, but I really like the fox. It looks way better here than actually here, which is nice, though it's kind of stiff. I would maybe, you know, you have some curve like this here going on, like this S curve. If you look at it like from the side, it's like making this S here, which is nice. But in your drawing, it's just a straight line, which is never good. Always like never, it will give like the whole painting kind of unnatural and stiff look. So I would use like the same thing as you have here going on, like, you know, make it a little bit S-curved bit. That could maybe add it like a little bit more likeness, how I said before, and maybe a little bit more dynamic feel to it. Okay, now when we are here, I noticed that you don't have the second fox here. Not sure why, but okay. Another thing I would recommend to you, you know, how I was talking about these texture brushes, don't overuse them. Like, texture brushes are the polish at the end. They are not meant to be painted with. Like, yeah, you're doing some kind of, I'm not sure if it's like a some kind of atmospheric or like star thingy, but I would probably go with just gradient like this and maybe add the texture afterwards, because that can give you some kind of like really nice effect if you're just gonna use something. See, if you would just painted the whole background with just this, like this kind of points, it would look weird. But now when you have like something like some gradient here, like really smooth gradient here, and then you added this, it's better, it looks better. So don't paint with like texture brushes like this. Just use like your normal brush. I don't know, that's probably not right, but anyway, just paint it whole. This is not going well. If you're gonna paint it whole and then just add some gradient to it, I don't know, wait a second, we need to add one more layer here. Okay, so if you're gonna just paint it all, and then use some brush that does what you want. I know, for example, this one, if you go about the color you're going, I don't know, this doesn't look that well, but see, now it looks kind of better, kind of more atmospheric, not that, you know, messy. Yeah, that's the word. So it doesn't look that messy. It has some kind of, you know, gradient here, and it's smooth, and the detail is only on the things that needed the detail. And it's like done in 10 seconds, so it's not that hard to make. Okay. Yeah, the main reason why I'm talking about this is because you have this cell shaded rock here that doesn't, like, it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well with the other, like the background and the environment, because you used these texture brushes. But if I'm just gonna use this, just smooth gradient with this rock, now it goes a little bit better. Okay, the same thing for the ground, I guess, or I know I would do the same thing for the ground as well. Or if you just want to go with the cell shaded, you can go the whole thing cell shaded. That would be better, I think. Okay, the another thing, this composition, this one I said is kind of empty to me. This is super empty. There's nothing really going on here. So either I would add the second fox here, or at least enlarge this one and like build the rocks on it. Like, don't do just one rock. Add more of them, or you know, like the whole big rock thingy here, for example. I know it's like a silhouette of it. Okay, like this, and these crystals are going out of it, you know. And we could like go the big fox head here with this color, you know. I don't want to like get something bigger here. It's like a ghost fox. Yeah, this is not really fox, but you know, just like some object here, you know, it's a big to small. That can work, but small to nothing, that's not really powerful, I think. Yeah, but how I said, I'm not really good with composition, so take it with reserve. Don't take it too seriously, what I'm saying here. I hope this kind of helped you. Now we're gonna move to the actual like repaint of this, how I would approach this kind of composition or this kind of theme. So with this repaint, I'm kind of trying to stick to my idea, like about how I said before, you know, the whole rocky environment, just to make one big rock and work with it. And I really like the colors you had on the rock, and you know, the cell shaded look. I'm not really good at this, probably I'm pretty bad at this, but I'm trying to like go with it and create some kind of like more epic, and you know, like this big whole statue rock thingy, and place the fox on it to make her kind of to make her more important to the painting, that it's not, you know, just a flat ground. I'm trying to do this epic, you know, kind of more epicness to it, more calm epicness, something between calm and epic. You know, calm epicness. I don't know, this is weird. But yeah, I'm trying to achieve this kind of thing because that's what I kind of saw you're trying to do in the original render file. So I'm trying to reproduce this somehow. Also, I didn't add the second fox as well because, I don't know, in your painting it was missing as well, so I wasn't sure if you liked it, so I'm not using it. And with this whole rock, I'm trying to stick to these things I was saying to you, you know? Do foreground, do character, and do background. With the foreground, you know, that's the whole rock and it's going up. and to the actually from the foreground to the middle part, and there's the fox, and between the rocks there are also another things as well, you know, like the clouds and the rock on the right side, and I'm really trying to go with it. And also in the painting I was like didn't really like the color in the sky because it didn't work well with the light on the rock, because the light on the rock was actually blue and your sky was orange. I don't think that would actually work like that. So I've changed the sky a little bit and make it like more like daylight, because you know the actual the reflection on the rock look more like daylight light, and you know these highlights. So I try to like work with it and do my, I know, impression of your painting, I guess. And also I tried to like stick up with your idea of the fox, but I'm trying to give her a little bit more perspective and like the curve to it, so it doesn't look that stiff, I think. And I don't know, I hope you liked this video. I hope it will help you at least a bit to kind of improve your, to kind of improve your composition and art. So thanks for watching and see you next time.